Yo, what's up, Kill Nation? How's it going? Hope you all are doing well. But if you're new, welcome in. Thanks for joining in to this conversation that I have for you. So, we're going to be talking about SmackDown, as you've seen on the title and also on your screen at this time right now. But I'm not going to give a full SmackDown review because it's really not much to talk about, but there's just certain particular things that was on my mind. And so let's dive right on in. First things out, the biggest thing that's been highlighted all over social media. Ilja Dragunov is back, and I absolutely screamed because I was waiting for him to return because we needed somebody with some fire, some passion, that drive, and he is just the wrestler that we needed. And even before he had left due to an injury, his momentum was out the wazoo. Ever since he'd been over to the main roster, he definitely was in a lot of great things that I absolutely was very important when he was on the Raw brand, but now that he's on the Blue brand, it was absolutely a great way to introduce him back. Not only did he accept the open challenge of Sami Zayn, he also conquered and became the new United States champion. And I absolutely love that because Ilja Dragunov had some momentum and definitely kicking it back to keep that same thing of where he left off. It's like he never left. He didn't miss a beat. He was absolutely amazing. And his physique definitely changed as well too. And I actually did like that tattoo as well. But I didn't like the fact that when he had his celebratory moment that it had to get ruined by Solo in the game. I just did not like that. Because of two reasons. Number one, it overshadowed Ilja Dragunov's return. He's been away for a year, and the fact that he couldn't soak in that moment, along with bullet point number two, being in that celebratory moment of gaining a championship and having him to soak in all of that all at one time. And the fact that MF kind of overshadowed that definitely was disrespectful to me in my eyes. But I don't know about you guys, but that's just the way that I saw it. And I don't think that was a good idea. Especially the fact that MFT, Solo Sikoa, and his crew, they are not really doing it for me. I'm not going to lie. This faction, ever since Solo Sikoa lost the United States Championship himself, he has not been the same in the run that they're trying to do to redeem him in the group. I really don't like the angle that they're going. I understand it far as wrestling wise, but far as entertainment wise, this is really not that good. They should have took a hiatus for like 2 weeks, kept the video packages, and came back a little bit stronger, because even when they returned the first time with the new look, it just was not hitting. I was just like, okay, cool, Tama Tonga's back. That's the only person I really cared about. But I'm gonna say that for another video, so that way I can get back on topic, because like I said, I don't really want to talk about everything. But at least my video about Sami Zayn saying, oh, there's something missing about, you know, the open challenge thing, at least that doesn't matter anymore. The only thing that's missing is his title, and it's now Ilja Dragunov, so congrats to him. But let's move on to the next thing that I wanted to include, and I wanted to talk about Drew McIntyre, because the way that SmackDown and the way they are doing Drew McIntyre is so disrespectful. I'm not gonna lie. Because y'all, even when even when Cody had opened up the night, when he kicked off SmackDown, he talked about the #1 contenders match that was going to happen in the main event. And when he was announcing the names of the challengers that was going against each other, he said Drew McIntyre's name, and they were booing him. I understand that that was a place where Jacob Fatu is from, and that's his hometown. I was like, okay, I understand that, but you still ain't gotta boo Drew McIntyre. We know the momentum and the story of where he's been trying to go. Let's not boo my mans right now. But that's the interesting fact about this entire situation, is that Drew McIntyre, I'm not gonna lie, he's at a point where he's kind of fallen off. And I'm not saying completely, don't misconstrue that, please. I'm just saying in a way that Drew McIntyre has held up so much momentum for the past couple of years. He is the only superstar that I know that consistently, in anything that he's involved in with like stories or challenges when it comes up in the title scene, he's always been very consistent to bounce back on his losses. Or if he gained, he was able to, you know, gain successfully his momentum. He was kind of a tweener in a way. He is a heel, in fact, more than ever now than he was before his run in certain times when he was up against certain people. But I definitely can say in this time, it's just very interesting to see how Drew McIntyre, he's getting some people to turn against him now. And that's the part that's kind of bad, is that Drew McIntyre is like the best person to be champion, and we want to see him so much, but now it seems that people are getting tired. And I seen on
like Instagram, because that's where I'm most active on. Like, people in the comments was like, oh, am I the only one that's getting tired of Drew? It's like, people were agreeing. They were not the only one that was getting tired. And me personally, I'm not getting tired of Drew McIntyre because I still feel like he has so much more to offer. But if they don't pull the trigger on him soon, after this turn of events that happened at the main event, I'm not sure what they're gonna do, because even if they did, they don't have anybody else after, you know, that title in the main event scene, because the only person you really have is Randy Orton. That is the only person I can think of. Everybody else, they're not really building anybody into the new title scene, even though they do have options in order to do so. But they have to keep continuing to pull the trigger, and that's their downfall at this current time when it comes to superstars that they're trying to build or somebody that's new. They do not take the time to build them up, but they definitely need to figure out something soon, because if not, we're not going to really have that much rotation when it comes to these titles. Especially in the main event scene, because that needs to be more consistent, because that's where the limelight of everything is the world titles for both men and women. And speaking of the next person to be in rotation, when there was the mystery attack against JaKelXO, my theory was that it was probably Randy Orton, most likely, to knock him out, because we have seen a lot of confrontation between Randy and Drew McIntyre. It definitely would have been kind of nice to see them implement to replace somebody else in the main event that happened last night, because they definitely could have filled in that space to put somebody else there, because y'all literally had like 10 minutes left, and the way that y'all had Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre brawl out, that was such bullshit. I'm not gonna lie. They had this man wrestle in a suit. I understand the antics of what Cody Rhodes is doing in wrestling. I understand the psychology of that, what they're going for. Cody Rhodes definitely has some new fire pent up in him, because that was definitely different. It seems like he'll probably turn heel soon, because after that loss from Crown Jewel, it definitely affected him, and you could definitely tell. And he just got teed off with Drew McIntyre, and that was just pretty much the last straw for him. But they really could have inserted Randy Orton into this triangle, just due to the fact that Randy is looking forward to getting another championship run, and having him inserted in that would have been nice. It could have been cool to see once Drew McIntyre was finishing talking. You know, he was talking his mess, like, oh, seems like JaKelXO is no breaks. And Nick Aldis came out. It could have been a nice scene to see Nick Aldis. He's like, oh, I know that was you. And then Randy Orton comes out of nowhere. It's like, hey, well, since nobody's there, I'll go ahead and take my spot. And they could have had a match, because they still had some time, and they just wasted that bullshit match that they had. But I understand the route that they're going, but it's just, hopefully it's worth it, because the direction of where Drew McIntyre is going is very much downhill. And that's the part that I don't like, because Drew McIntyre is like one of the best wrestlers that we definitely will need in a world title picture. But hopefully they come up with something soon, and hopefully as we progress on, we'll see something better. And hopefully next week on Friday Night SmackDown is better. But the only thing I really cared about too was just Ilja Dragunov returning back. There were some great things that happened that I did, like, for example, Carmelo Hayes being on The Miz. I definitely love that part. He got his lick back, and hopefully that leads into Carmelo Hayes breaking off from The Miz soon, because he really doesn't need him. But in general, SmackDown was definitely unorthodox this night, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm happy I did watch it live to see Ilja Dragunov return, because I low-key was gonna be like, oh, I don't feel like watching it, but I'm bored tonight, so I'm gonna just go ahead and watch it, because sometimes I wait till the next day. But as I said, I'm glad I didn't. But that is gonna wrap it up for this video, you all. So definitely leave your comments down below. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions of what you thought about SmackDown. And also don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified of any time I upload, to join the KelBell Nation. And I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless you, and peace.